I think you're giving Bandit a big pass here.
My teaching assistant, Mr. Carter, he's been agitating for a full separate episode just on the disgrace that is Bandon Dunes' logo. Hey everybody, welcome back to Office Hours. I'm your host, Michael Wolf. The show is presented by Holderness and Bourne and our good friends at No Laying Up. Speaking of No Laying Up, one of our special students in class this semester, Neil Schuster. Neil, I understand, besides keeping a busy, full curriculum plus the football team, I also have learned recently you've got a little side hustle in the merch game. You're in charge of No Laying Up's merchandise, logos, things of that nature.
Yes. Mr. Wolfie, thanks for making the time for me today. I was doing a side hustle, like drop shipping watches, but now we're doing like some golf merch stuff. And you said you had some info on some logos.
Yeah, I thought we'd keep it, end of the semester, trying to keep a little enthusiasm up here in class, a little energy. I thought we'd kind of go lighthearted with this week's class, and we'd go with logos. So my teaching assistant, Mr. Tron Carter, has helped me curate a list. I thought we'd put some of them up and maybe get some feedback from you or maybe another member of the class that appears to be asleep in the back.
I'm not asleep. I'm running the ones and twos here. I'm trying to get all these fucking logos to put up.
Is Tron is he the TA that always dresses his son in like top 100 logos? Is that the same guy?
Right. That's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I seen him around sometimes. He was kind of hit or miss last semester, but
So let's jump right to the top of the list. The GOAT logos. I think universally acknowledged. Anytime you see a little clickbait list on the internet, let's start with some of the top ones that are always on those lists. See what you think.
Oh, Presswick, never been, Mr. Wolfie, but I'd say pretty classy logo.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first cross golf clubs. Plenty of people are doing it. But I think a theme of good logos is that you can also kind of scalable. You can make that big. You can make it small. You can put it on the little pocket of a shirt. You can put it on the sleeve of a shirt. And I think it's like it says something about the self-confidence of the club that they don't need to be too showy. They know what they are there. They had the first Open Championship. Old Tom ran the pro shop there for a while.
How do you feel about putting the words in there? You don't think the cross clubs stand for themselves?
I like that you can do it either way. I think that the way they've done it, because it's below, they can take them out or put them in without running into too many hassles. What do we got next?
Wingfoot.
Sure.
Cross clubs again.
Yeah,
I think this one kind of speaks for itself. I would say they would want you to think this too, but this is a very classy logo. It's sweet.
Yeah.
Kind of a crossover. I think it's a crossover with New York Athletic Club. Is that right?
It is a crossover with New York Athletic Club. So New York Athletic Club, they got, basically the same foot, the winged foot, but instead of clubs behind it, if you're on the track team or you're on the wrestling team or whatever, they put different stuff behind the foot, and I like that too.
Which is nice when you can reuse some things. They don't have a date on there. What do you think the cutoff should be on, if your club was before, like Presswick had, 1851? Is it before 1950? Like when or 1923? Like 100 years ago? Like when does it matter to we're old? We want to establish that we've been around.
Neil, that's a good question. I would say either or. I think it's either like older than 40 or 50 years or like brand new, like something in the first 10 years. I think it's either or. If it's 20 or 30 years old, I don't think you need it.
Oh, this is one of TA Tron's favorites.
It is.
LACC. I think this one's pretty classy.
It's good colors, I think. It stands out. The shape of it stands out. I think this is going to be an interesting test study. So at least the times I've been to LACC, they wouldn't sell their merchandise to guests. You had to slip your host cash and then he could buy it and put it on his account. But I'll be kind of curious because everybody at the Open was wearing LACC merchandise that said US Open below it because everything in the merchandise tent had it on there. So all of a sudden you went from never seeing anybody with LACC stuff except for members. Now everybody in the entire city of Los Angeles, it seems like, has got the merch. So I'll be kind of curious what the effect is on the brand there.
It's got a little bit of that Augusta vibe where the members have their own merch. I think, what is it? The members have the Masters on there, or the words on it.
Yeah, so they got this one.
Or they have the circle. Is it the circle?
Yeah, that's the circle. Yeah.
Okay.
Love that was just sitting by his desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
And
Sure.
now the LACC one, you're going to have a U.S. Open on it also. It's like, yeah, you're kind of a, not a pretender, but you're not really in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
God, Mr. Wolfie, I have no idea.
So this is Rye.
Oh, that's like a blue blood track, right?
Yeah, it is. A little bit harder to get to, a little off the beaten tourist trail. I like this one because, again, it's scalable. Like, you could just put you can put that on a sleeve. You can put it on on the front of your shirt. You put it on a cashmere sweater like I own from Rye. The colors are just enough to, give a little attention to it, but nothing crazy. I think it fits well with the British too. Like, understated. It's nothing too obnoxious, but I like that one too. I think that's
I think that logo is extremely hostile. Both the contrasting colors, the almost 6-year-old lion drawing. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I mean, it's not aesthetically pleasing, but I think it's sweet because it's so different. It's very striking. Let me put it that way. I've literally never seen that logo before. Not Scranton. I don't know.
So this is St. Louis Country Club.
St. Louis, okay.
One of the few golf courses built by C.B. McDonald before he passed along the reins to Seth Rayner. I like this one. It's the best of the bunch of the ones that just kind of incorporate the club, letters into their logo. So if you look closely, you can see the S in the CC, St. Louis Country Club. They also, I like, it's a nice little homage to the fact that they had polo there, and they had, I think they had fox hunting, and so the little, I don't know what's called, the whip, I guess, for the horses, or whatever that tool is for the horses, and then the horseshoes for the C and the C. I kind of like that little homage to the past for St. Louis.
I do think that's a creative use of the letters. A lot of people try to do that. I mean, even us. I got on the NLU crest logo. Yeah. Trying to figure out a way to make all the letters work together. That's, if done properly, it's very classy.
It's very classy if done properly. It's easy to fall into the crowd there.
Oh, National Golf Links. Yes. They, this one fits. I think it fits the club really well. It's just, you drive into that place and it's like gates and old mansion and just feels like you're going back in time.
Sure. Okay, now some extra credit though. Can you guess what this one is?
Mr. Wolfie, I have no idea what this one is.
Okay, so that's the Links Club, New York City, I think 62nd Street.
That's right.
The in-town club for C.B. McDonald and his crew. So those are both National and the Links Club. Their little stick figure guys are from the Delft Tiles. C.B. McDonald, in addition to being an old school, St. Andrews diehard and diehard for the rules and everything, he was also a collector. He bought Laidlaw Purvis's book collection, and he was always buying up old stuff. He was one of the first guys that realized hey, golf's gonna be around a long time. We're in the formative years. We got to gather all this stuff up in one place. And so he was always he was one of the first ones to have an office that looked like Wolfie's, full of knickknacks of golf stuff. And he bought these Delft tiles, which were from Holland, and it was from a game that was kind of similar to golf that they played on the frozen canals with a little hole in the ice. But anyway, those are stick figures from the Delft tiles. If you ever get an invite to play at National, or if you ever get an invite to go to lunch at the Links Club, which is very fancy, they use the Delft tiles as framing around their fireplaces, and you can see the actual Delft tiles that C.B. McDonald and his buddies modeled their logo after.
How about that? C.B. McDonald. Didn't know it. Known hoarder, books, windmills. Yeah. Just guy he liked stuff.
Sure,
that's good stuff. Okay, Harbortown.
This was divisive. My TA, Mr. Carter, was pretty openly hostile to this one. I think he called it a disgrace. I hate to use that kind of language in a class full of impressionable youth, but he called it a disgrace. I think it's pretty cool. I like the colors. They're kind of bright, snappy colors. You know what it is as soon as you look at it. You're not going to mistake it for somewhere else.
Yeah, it's it's what they're known for. The Lighthouse in Hilton Head. I think that's, I'll take it. I think that's good brand standards for them, right? Let's stick with what we're known for. Let's not overcomplicate this. Fenway, Westchester.
Yeah, it's kind of the third one in line there with you got your Winged Foot, and then you got your Quaker Ridge, and then you got your Fenway, all designed by Mr. Tillinghast. Fenway, really good golf course. It's celebrating their 100th anniversary next year. It's your typical, right? We say it all the time. It would get so much more attention if it wasn't for the neighborhood that it was hanging out in. I like the colors here. Little Princeton, a little nod to Princeton Tigers, maybe.
I was gonna say I
yeah.
I do like the colors, but I hate Princeton, so that's tough for me to admit. I also like the font they used. I think it's very clean. That's a good logo.
I like that too. I like shields and flags in general. I like Boston Golf's flag. I like Plainfield's flag. I like a good little simple shield like that.
I do too, but a lot of people overcomplicate the shield, and I don't like it when there's too much going on the shield. Keep it simple.
All right. Maybe one more from the greatest hits.
Marion. Wolfie, I got invited to play out at Wingfoot the other day, and they were using the wicker baskets on the 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. We weren't allowed to take the flags out because I think they were antiques, so they didn't want anybody laying them down. So that was, might have impacted my round a little bit. But the wicker baskets are sweet. You also see them at Sea Island. I think those are the only two places that use them regularly. Is that right?
Well, so San Francisco Golf Club, they originally had wicker baskets. They kind of, I think, came up with a treaty. Wingfoot picked up the cost of a set of blue and white wicker baskets for San Francisco Golf Club in exchange for San Francisco Golf Club basically promising not to merchandise or monetize the wicker baskets. But there's plenty of places that did use wicker baskets. They used them all over in Japan. I know Kawana had them, and there's still one of the old wicker baskets on the wall at Kawana.
So Wingfoot was the original wicker basket spot, or was Marion?
I think San Francisco Golf Club probably was. San Francisco Golf Club's way older than Wingfoot or Marion. And I think that they came up with a photo that shows that they used theirs like way, way, way back.
Okay. So why did Wingfoot move away from the wicker baskets and Marion keep them?
I don't know. Good question. We'll have to follow up on that. Don't know.
All right.
Probably, I would think they're heavy.
How about that? Asking some good questions in office hours. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Stumping the Schwab here.
Neil, you know what else is a great logo?
What's that?
This one right here from our good friends at Holderness and Bourne.
It is timeless, classy, very simple. They're combining the text, as we were talking about earlier, which is always, when done properly, very, very classy.
Yeah. I got on my Sands shirt from, look at that. I walked.
You know what, Wolfie? I got a Sands shirt on too.
Mine's in white and Nevis. As everybody knows, Alexander Hamilton was born on the island of Nevis. Kind of a pink and blue. It seems like every top shop you go in now, Holderness and Bourne right at the front. You know what else I like about Holderness and Bourne? They don't need to throw their logo all over the shirts. Like it's like self-confidence. They know what they got. It's good quality. It's at a good price. They're golf guys. They get it. They know that the quality of their stuff is going to speak for itself. So good on Holderness and Bourne. Sponsor the show. Sponsor the class.
One of our favorite partners, on my side hustle on the merch side.
Sure.
Check them out next time you're in a pro shop. They're in all the ones we're talking about right now.
They are. I mean, they're like the official shirt of really, really good places to play golf. All right, back to our class.
Well, no, I want to do Wolfie. I want to know, I want you to detonate some people. Who's got some low energy, some just bad logos, unmerchable logos.
Sure. So there's some that I like to call bad good, where they're so bad that they're good, and then there's some that are just like bad. So Hinch, I think that's at the top of the bad list, but I'd like your opinion. Good or just bad?
This is something that DJ and I have talked about being over in the UK. I feel like if a good graphic designer from the US could go over there and become a billionaire, because every store you pass, it's like, man, this logo is just too busy. Bad colors, just too much going on. Just get rid of everything but the goat in 1892, and this is the coolest logo in golf. But we gotta there's always just doing a little too much, and I don't know. It's like a weakness of the UK. Yeah, I'm calling them out. I just don't think graphic design is kind of in the genes.
I agree. And it seems like there was this big wave of not only are they bad, but a lot of these logos have been redesigned and they're new. They weren't they didn't have these logos 30 years ago. I
get terrible. It with the name, with the words. It's an international place. You're trying to get notoriety. I've argued with my dad and uncles about this with NLU. We just, on our hats, we just do the Wayward Drive. And my uncles are like, you got to put no laying up across the side. I'm like, no, we're not trying to make it look sponsored. So.
Another one that's terrible, Ballybunion, that's no good.
But again,
it's a little better than Hinch.
Horrible color scheme, number one. I mean, mustard and kind of dirty blood red. No thanks. Yeah. But the archaeology symbol is with the crumbling castle. there's something to work. Both of those logos, there's something to work with. They're just too busy.
Yeah.
And they have bad color schemes. Who
I
is
thought this was a joke the first time I walked into this place. That's County Louth, which is a great golf course, by the way. If you go to Ireland, you go into Dublin, make sure County Louth is on your list.
All right, I feel like we're beating up on the UK, Ireland. Like we need to any bad unmerchable US clubs.
Well, that's Australia. That's Kingston Heath right there. Wonderful place to play golf. It's going to host in the upcoming President's Cup. That's a tough one right there.
It's just a lot going on. A little bit of a spaghetti junction with the letters. I'm with you. Oh, God, is this Doonbeg?
That's I believe that's Bedminster, but they all look basically identical except for the very bottom, like below the two little shield, the little whatever you call them, stripes at the bottom. They changed those out. There's like a lion's head in one, and I think there's an eagle in one. But the rest of it is all the same from place to place, and same colors. That's tough. I mean, that's a real tough.
I don't have a problem with the black and gold. I mean, the faux gaudy look. Like, listen, that's what we're gonna get. It's just like I remember going to Doonbeg. It was like even the Wi-Fi was like I think the password was Trump. It's just like it's on everything. It's in the flowers. It's on the It's like it's just what you're gonna get. I think the thing I would criticize the most about the Trump logo, too complicated of a shield. Way too much going on the shield.
You can't embroider it. You can't.
There's nothing like what am I getting from that? It's all like like made up hieroglyphics. It's like somebody like designed their own tribal tat, and they're like, "Yo, look how fucking sick this is." It's like, well, I don't know, man. Like, is there actually anything to it? Is there any Easter egg in there? Like, I don't think there is. It's just like an amalgamation.
I agree, and not to beat a dead horse with our good friends over in the UK, but a lot of the clubs around London, kind of the same thing. Like St. George's Hill is they got this horse, and it's just that's tough. I mean, that's a tough. What do you do with that?
That's pretty visceral. I might disagree with you on this. This is kind of sick. I mean, at least there's no text. We don't have any contrasting colors.
Yeah.
There's not enough like violence and death in golf. Like I kind of appreciate them, zagging when everyone's zigging.
A nice.
I don't know if I'd rock that. I mean, people be like, "Oh, what is that?
What's going on there?
Is that American Gladiators?" No, it's just high-end golf club.
St. George, just Slay the Dragon. Same here. This gives me a little Planet of the Apes vibe. I don't know. Good golf course. It's hard. They gotta cut their gunch down. That's a tough place to play golf if you hit your driver wayward like I do. But that's a tough logo.
I mean, yeah, that looks like someone struggling with the big right miss. Me, porque mi Dios, just why have you forsaken me?
All right, let's do some rapid fire ones.
All right.
So to me, this is just low energy. I got this in my low energy club. I think Sand Valley is low energy. Sabonic, Stream Song, they're like. I want to know the ratio at Sand Valley Resorts between the Sand Valley logo and the Mammoth Dunes for their other course, because the Mammoth Dunes one that's awesome.
That's phenomenal. But also, I think you're giving Bandon a big pass here. I feel like other than Sheep Ranch, I feel like Bandon's logos are the penguin, the birds. I'm not really feeling many of the Bandon logos. I feel like that's the one place they're missing for me. It's just like not walking to the pro shop and be like, can't wait to wear this shirt.
My teaching assistant, Mr. Carter, he's been agitating for a full separate episode just on the disgrace that is Bandon Dunes' logos.
Mainly Pacific Dunes. The what is it, a dolphin or whale or something?
Yeah, with kind of the same loop.
Even the beluga doesn't want to wear that. I'm sorry, man. Oh God, Burning Tree. Outside of DC, TC loves rocking this logo, which is men's only place, I believe. TC just like, yeah, ask me about it, dog. Ask me about it.
It's a statement. It's a great logo.
It is a good logo. Like it's a visual representation of the name of the club, which is like, hey, you guys, that's an A+ on the test. You know what I mean? You accomplished the goal. I think I'm with you on it. It's a great logo. I don't think they need the words again, but feels like it's so old, it's classic.
So whole game I like to play when I visit places, try to pick out how many logos around the world have far and sure in their logo or in their seal or whatever they've got. A lot of the Royal clubs have them, and a lot of interesting places around the world have the far and sure. Royal Calcutta's got it in their logo. Royal Liverpool, Hoylake, where the Opens played this year. I like a little phrasing in there if it fits. Royal Colombo, instead of saying far and sure, they say as the crow flies, and I like that in their logo.
Is that in Sri Lanka?
That's in Sri Lanka, yeah. So I wanted your opinion on this one. I think this one and Pebble Beach are the two that I kind of go back and forth on of whether I like them or not.
I like this. I like the font. I don't know if they.
I like the font. Yeah.
Need it, and I think the tree is probably good for me. I don't know about Pebble though. Well, that's a good logo too.
Here's my two problems with it. The golf course opened up in 1918, not 1919.
Sure.
Right out of the gate, they're wrong. Second of all, that's the Lone Cypress, which is nowhere near Pebble Beach. Like, you can't see it from the golf course. It's nowhere near the place. It's like, yeah, it's 3 miles
it's up north.
away, like around the corner. It's probably closer to Cypress than it is Pebble, I would think.
It definitely is. Yeah, but I think I do like the color scheme. The green and tan is pretty classy.
All right, we're going to make you guys get on the record. We're going to put some future invites on the line here. All right?
Uh-oh.
We're going to make you guys uncomfortable.
I think it works because it's Pine Valley. Do they always have the Pine Valley underneath, or do they ever just do the shield?
So for the members, it's just the shield, and then for the guests, that's like their member-only logo. It's just the shield, and then for the guests, it's Pine Valley. I put Pine Valley in the category. It's also a great golf course and a pretty fabulous experience to visit there. So I would put that in the one that maybe you don't go with a shirt when you visit Pine Valley, but like that's the place you get like a nice like leather scorecard holder or a wallet or something like that. That's going to last for a long time. This is in the category of unicorns.
Okay.
You may not know this one. These are, when you see this, somebody they know what they're doing. This is a logo that should command your attention if you see it in the wild, because you're not going to see very many in the wild.
Mr. Wolf, you have no idea what club this is.
So this is Moorfontein, a club as classy as their logo, very understated, like visiting the club itself. They have a very small gift shop, and it's also like one of those things where like it's not always open. Like you walk past it, and sometimes there's somebody like standing behind the counter. Sometimes there's somebody not. You're not like quite sure how it's like supposed to work. Like, am I allowed to buy this stuff? Like, is there like, do they take a credit card? The whole thing's a little bit. It seems like there's some stuff they sell to guests, some they don't. But a good logo. You don't see a lot of Moorfontein stuff walk around.
This is the Beluga likes this one. This place it's kind of on my hit list.
Yeah, Maidstone. I like it. Stolen Valor by Vineyard Vines, though, right? I mean,
you don't have to sell me on wearing, a whale shirt or any animal shirt. I'm way in on the Maidstone logo.
All right.
I no clue what this is.
So that's Garden City Golf Club.
Not the men's club.
GCGC. It is the men's club, but it's actually called Garden City Golf Club. Everybody thinks it's called men's club.
Because then there's Garden City Country Club, too.
That's right. That's across the street. Right across the street.
Okay.
Yeah. Garden City Golf Club, and that's one of the flowers that grows there.
Yeah, listen, man, I might not get an invite, but this logo fucking stinks. Like, I think this is awful with the perp. What are we doing, man? I'm out. Sorry to all the men out on the island. I'm not feeling that logo. Do you feel the same way, or are you just gonna,
Yeah, probably. I like Walton Heath a little better. Walton Heath also has a purple flower logo. Walton Heath is a little I like that one maybe a little bit more, a little cleaner.
TC loves Fisher's logo. Loves it.
TC loves Fisher's.
And that's a good logo. I like you're bringing in some geography, little landmass. I love maps. I'm way in on this one. I think this gets the job done of like, it's very distinct. It's good colors, and it establishes this is where the club is. I think that's super cool.
I like this one too. I don't like a troubling trend is increasingly places are popping up with Stolen Valor. They're like ripping off this idea of like the little outlining of their lake or outlining of their island. Put a little flag in the middle.
Well, names. Who's that?
Down in my neck of the woods, Willow Point has kind of the same thing where it's like a lake that they outlined in the flag in it. I don't like that, but yeah. So you got to watch the Stolen Valor. All right, this is number one on my hit list. So every golf course we've mentioned so far on the broadcast, I've actually already played and visited. This one I have not. Any info on this one, Neil?
I think it's it's got to be in the UK.
Right. So this is like the this is like in Good Will Hunting when he writes the equation on the chalkboard and challenges the class to solve it by the end of the semester. This is kind of the equivalent for logo golf course junkies. So Royal Household Golf Club is a real place. It is next to the walls of Windsor Castle. It's 9 holes. I think they've got a couple alternate tee boxes. You basically have to have an invite from a member of the royal family or someone from the royal household to play golf there. I only know one person who's ever played there. The only way I know that you can get on is I think they invite like the captains of all the top clubs, like at Sunningdale and St. George's Hill. They have like a captain's day, I think, like once a year, where they invite all the captains to play golf there and have a little cocktail party. But they do have merchandise. I've never seen this in the wild ever. I want to play Royal Household. If anybody's out there,
if anybody's played it, send in the logo. Show us the merch in the wild. We want to see it.
Sure, love to see it. Royal Household.
I think we're reaching the end of class here. There's a lot more to get to. We didn't get to MacArthur. We didn't get to Hoopy. We didn't get to a lot of stuff. Sure. But I think reading to take away, Wolfie, I think it's a disgrace this was not on your GOATs list. I just want to throw that out there.
That's a good call.
I think that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow is awesome. I also like, I'm a big fan of the Creek with just the simple bird logo. I think that's sweet. I think Monterey Peninsula Country Club is aggressive with like the one-eyed sea monster like wrapped around the flag. It's just really unnecessary, but it's really awesome.
I believe Mr. Carter described it as a fish on a stripper pole.
Yeah, I'm in. It gets the people going. It generates a conversation.
Well, that's what all this is supposed to do, right? There's no right or wrong. It's like music. It's like any form of art. If you like it, buy it. If you don't. If you want to wear it, wear it.
I have one other honorable mention. Sandwich Country Club in Connecticut. The Witch.
Yep.
They have the witch on the broom. Is so sweet. That's like one of my favorite logos in the golf world.
So that's a B logo from what I understand. That's a secondary logo, and the golf world has been overrun with secondary logos lately. I think that's a whole different conversation. I take some points off if it's not the primary logo because it's, anybody can just sit around and doodle all day long and eventually come up with a banger and try something new every year or whatever. I believe the Stanwich one is their B logo from what I know.
All right, Mr. Wolfie, I got to get the football practice.
Yeah, thanks for hanging around. I know it's a little slow times on campus, end of the summer.
No, I got to get these grades up, man. I appreciate your help,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We're going to do a follow-up episode to this, so anybody watching, put your comments. Nominate them down below. We read the comments.
I think there'll be some comments.
Hit the subscribe, hit the like. We want to know what you think. Tell me where I'm wrong. Don't hold back. Give it to me. I can take it. And if you're a member of Royal Household Golf Club, let's talk.